Pain is inevitable, but your response to it is what defines you as a man. When a woman pulls away, betrays your trust, or wounds you emotionally, your instincts might scream at you to react, to demand answers, to seek closure, to make her understand the depth of your pain. But this is exactly what weak men do. They let their emotions dictate their actions. They chase, they beg, they lose control, and in doing so, they lose the very thing that makes them attractive in the first place, their self-respect. A Stoic man understands that pain is a test. It is not a signal to lose himself, but an opportunity to strengthen his resolve. Most men crumble when faced with emotional adversity because they have never trained their minds to withstand the discomfort of silence, of uncertainty, of being alone. But this discomfort is where power is found. A man who can endure the sting of rejection without breaking is a man who commands respect, not just from others, but from himself. The moment you stop reacting emotionally, everything shifts. You are no longer at her mercy, no longer playing by her rules. She expects you to chase, to plead, to make it easy for her to feel validated, even as she distances herself. But what she does not expect, what truly unsettles her, is your silence, your refusal to engage in the emotional tug-of-war she has set up. This is where your strength is tested, and this is where you must hold the line. You must recognize that no woman, no relationship, and no single event in life has the power to break you, unless you allow it to. Your value as a man is not determined by whether she stays or leaves, but by the way you carry yourself in the face of loss. Will you fall apart like every other man who lacks control over his own mind? Or will you stand firm, unmoved by her absence, focused on your own path? This is not about playing games. It is not about pretending to be indifferent in the hopes that she will return. It is about understanding that your self-worth is not tied to her actions. It is about mastering yourself to the point where external circumstances, no matter how painful, cannot shake you. A man who reacts emotionally to a woman's withdrawal is a man who does not yet understand his own power. A man who remains composed in the face of rejection, who does not break under the weight of silence, is a man who is truly free. This is the foundation of strength. This is the mindset that separates those who beg for attention from those who command it. If you can master this, you will never again find yourself in a position of weakness when a woman pulls away, because you will know with absolute certainty that your worth was never in her hands to begin with. The philosophy of detachment: why reacting weakens you. When you react emotionally to a woman's withdrawal, you give away your power. You signal that your sense of worth depends on her validation, making you easy to control. A Stoic man understands that attachment breeds weakness. What is too easily given is rarely valued. Detachment is not indifference, it is self-respect. It is the quiet confidence of a man who does not beg for what is not freely given. Fear repels attraction, and the moment a woman senses desperation, she loses trust in you. A man who stands firm, unshaken by another's emotions, commands respect. Love, like all things, is impermanent. A man rooted in his own worth does not act out of desperation. He walks away when necessary, not with bitterness, but with strength. This is true power, the freedom to let go, the ability to remain unmoved, the presence of a man who cannot be ignored. The Stoic approach to power: strength in absence. Power is not found in words but in the space between them. Most men, when hurt, react, explaining, pleading, trying to force understanding. But true strength does not seek recognition. It does not demand acknowledgement. It simply exists, unmoved. Silence is not weakness, it is restraint. It forces the other person to face their own actions without your interference. When a woman expects anger but is met with quiet, she begins to question. When she anticipates pursuit but finds only distance, she feels the weight of her own decisions. It is not your words that create impact, but but your absence. A man who understands this does not chase. He does not seek closure. He does not give away his power in desperate attempts to be heard. He allows his silence to do what explanations never could. The less he gives, the more she wonders. The more he holds his ground, the more his presence lingers. Strength is not in the noise, it is in the unshakable stillness of a man who knows his own worth. Understanding her mind, how she responds to your detachment, she will test you. The moment you detach, the moment you step back into your own power, a shift occurs. At first she may not notice. She may carry on as if nothing has changed, assuming you will eventually return to the dynamic she controlled. But as the silence stretches, as your presence fades from her world, something unsettling begins to take hold in her mind. She expected you to chase, to seek her validation, to make your presence known. When that does not happen, doubt creeps in. A woman does not process loss the way a man does. She does not immediately feel the impact of your absence. Instead, she tests. Subtly at first, she may send a simple message, something neutral, something that invites but does not reveal. Hey, hope you're doing well. Saw something that reminded me of you. How have you been? These are not genuine efforts at reconnection. They are probes meant to assess whether she still holds influence over you. If you respond too quickly, too eagerly, she knows she still has a grip on your emotions. But if you remain composed, distant, unreadable, the balance of power begins to shift. Then come the more calculated moves. She may post something designed to catch your attention, a carefully chosen picture, a status update hinting at her new adventures, a public display of interest in someone else. This is not about moving on, it is about seeing if you will react. She wants to know if she still lingers in your thoughts, if she can still reach into your emotions and pull you back into her orbit. If you take the bait, if you engage, if you let her see that she still has influence over you, the cycle resets. She wins, the chase is over before it begins. But when you remain unmoved, when you do not react, when her tests are met with silence, she begins to feel something she did not expect. Uncertainty. Now she is the one wondering, questioning, overanalyzing. She scrolls through old messages, trying to remember the last moment when she was sure she had you. She finds herself glancing at her phone, waiting for a notification that never comes. The absence she once dismissed now becomes something she cannot ignore. She may escalate. A more direct message, a sudden reappearance in your life. She may ask about you through mutual friends, or even create situations where she accidentally runs into you. These are not coincidences. They are calculated steps, efforts to see if she can still affect you. And here most men fail. They take these small gestures as victory, as signs that she is coming back, and they throw away their power by rushing forward too soon. But a man who understands his value does not respond on impulse. He recognizes the test for what it is. He knows that true power is in maintaining the mystery, in allowing her to experience the full weight of his absence. Detachment is not about manipulation. It is about refusing to be controlled by fleeting emotions, by momentary loneliness, by the desperate need for validation. It is about standing firm in the knowledge that you are enough, that your worth does not hinge on her attention, that your strength lies in your ability to walk away. When a woman realizes that she can no longer bend you to her will, that she no longer holds the power she once did, she is forced to reevaluate everything, and that is when she truly begins to feel your loss. The ultimate Stoic mindset. Detachment is power. Detachment is the ultimate test of inner strength. It is not about indifference, but about mastering your emotions so that no external force can control you. When you detach, you stop reacting impulsively, and in doing so you shift the power dynamic in every aspect of life, relationships, work, and personal growth. A man ruled by his emotions is easily manipulated. He chases, he begs, he seeks validation, and in doing so he gives away his value. Detachment reverses this. It signals that you do not need approval, that your worth is not dependent on another's recognition. Women sense this, and their perception of you shifts. Instead of being someone easily swayed, you become a man of mystery and depth, someone they must work to understand. True detachment is not about avoidance. It is about choosing where to invest your energy. It means walking away from those who take you for granted, focusing on your own purpose, and allowing space for people to show their true intentions. A woman who truly values you will not need to be chased. She will come forward willingly. And if she does not, you have lost nothing, because a man of worth does not cling to those who fail to recognize him. Mastering detachment is mastering power. The world bends to the man who is content whether he gains or loses, who moves with purpose rather than desperation. When you embody this, you no longer worry about whether someone stays or leaves. You become the force others are drawn to, not because you seek them, but because you do not need them. The path of a Stoic man is one of self-mastery, not desperation. You do not chase, you attract. You do not beg for validation, you command respect through your presence and purpose. The moment you stop seeking approval from others, especially from women, you reclaim your power. Life will test you, people will pull away, situations will not go as planned, and emotions will tempt you to react. But a man who operates from strength does not break under pressure. He does not chase what is fleeting. Instead, he builds himself into a man of value, a man who is grounded, disciplined, and unwavering in his sense of self. This is not about manipulating others, it is about mastering yourself. When you detach from external validation, you become the kind of man who naturally draws others in, not because you need them, but because your presence alone demands recognition. If you are ready to embody this mindset, to stop chasing and start leading, then commit to the path of self-discipline and purpose. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself, and the right people will recognize it. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to Ultimate Stoicism and join a community of men who are building strength, wisdom, and unshakable confidence. Leave a comment below. What is the greatest lesson you've learned about detachment?